Hello everybody and welcome back to Brailsford Woodworks Refinished. Today I've got an oak root ball that I'm preparing to pour in with some epoxy. So right now I'm using an automotive scaler to remove all the dirt and bark so I can pour epoxy on it. After that it was over to the bandsaw to shave off a little bit here and there in order to get the root ball to fit into the bucket the right way. And from there it was on to mixing the epoxy, and I've got my pressure pot ready to go. I'm just going to mix my epoxy, get it poured into the bucket, and get it set into the pressure pot. In this particular case, I used a translucent green that I thought would look very nice with the root ball. And from there it's into the pressure pot, get it locked down, and get some pressure on it. 24 hours later, I'm ready to start turning. I pulled the bucket out. Now I got to get it out of the bucket. A few whacks with a dead blow got it done. Okay, so it was more than a few whacks. It was a lot of whacks. So this was my first wooden epoxy piece, and it did require some kind of experimentation to see how this was going to work out. I've got a Forstner bit. I'm drilling into the bottom of it in order to have a place to hold it on my chuck. So in this, you'll see me alternating between my Easy Wood Tools rougher and my gouge. I had mixed luck with both of them. In the end, the gouge did work some of the time, but it dulls very, very fast. And the real tool, proper tool for this, is the Easy Wood Tools with a negative rake. In this particular cut, I'm using my gouge, and I am really struggling because it had already dulled out and it had only been a few seconds. So it's back to the carbide and see what I can do with it. You can see on the top now I'm using my carbide and I'm doing mainly epoxy. And I'll stop and you can see I had a lot of chip out, and I went back to the gouge and it was having better luck with it up there. So yeah, it's a matter of experimentation. Again, this was my first foray into epoxy turning, and I did not have a negative rake bit for my Easy Wood Tools. But be prepared if you do get into epoxy turning. It is a mess. It is everywhere. So I'm trying to do a hollow form, and I'm just trying to shape the top of it and get to where I would have kind of a lip. Then it's back to the bottom, and I will start forming a tenon so I can hold it in my chuck and start hollowing it. I'll use my skew to help form the dovetail to hold it into the chuck better, and then also use it as a bit of a scraper. So I'm on the top, I'm getting closer to being finished to the shape that I want, and again, that epoxy is a mess. Then it was on to sanding. There's a lot of sanding because you really want to get that epoxy polished up nicely, so I think I took it up to about 5,000 grit. As you can see, that shine is starting to come out pretty nicely, and I'm also using some Yorkshire grit to really buff it down. Taking one last shot at refining the rim, and then I am going to start hollowing it. I've got about a 2-inch Forstner bit out, and I am giving myself a head start with a hollowing. First thing I'm doing here is refining the neck, where it has a nice slope going onto the inside, and from there I'll use my gooseneck hollower to start hollowing it out. My gooseneck hollower was brand new and had a beautifully sharp bit, and man, that thing really did go to town in there. It's definitely important to check those wall thicknesses frequently. Then it's on to a lot more sanding again. Then it was on to more Yorkshire grit for one more buffing. After that, it was onto my coal jaws to remove the tenon. A little bit of sanding and a little bit of buffing and this piece was all done. It sold at the very first show after this. Thank you everybody for joining me. Please come back and see me again on Brailsford Woodworks Refinished.